This is the life of a Bears fan. The Chicago Bears lose to the New York Giants by a score of 20-12 in a game in which they were not even trying to score touchdowns throughout the majority of the game. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears post-game reaction video, which I'll be giving to you guys after every single Bears game this year, win or lose. So regardless of what happens in these games, I'll be sure to provide my commentary, my analysis on what happened after the game, which, to be honest, is really tough after games like this in which the Bears just fell flat on their faces in basically every phase of the game, okay? Offense, defense, and special teams. Obviously, offense was the main reason why we lost the game, like it's been for my entire life, okay? The Bears going up against an injured Giants defense that's ranking like bottom of the league in both, yards allowed and rushing yards allowed. According to my knowledge, before this game, we only scored 12 points against that defense in 4 red zone trips. Okay, we had 4 red zone trips in this game. Getsy, who I'm starting to think is the most conservative person we have ever had calling a Bears offense in my life, which, that's saying something, right? Because we've had guys like, I don't know, like the John Fox offense back in the day. Obviously, John Fox was not the offensive play caller, but I remember 2017 with Trubisky, we ran the ball a lot. We played very conservative football, but this is like a whole new level of being conservative because, guys, I'm not even kidding when I say this. Chicago Bears were not trying to score touchdowns in this game. They were playing for field goals in this game, which in the year 2022, that's not how you win football games, okay? I think that Justin Fields probably played his best game of football so far this year. I know the numbers will not say that, okay? So if you just look at the stat sheet, you will not be able to tell that Justin Fields, in my opinion, played a pretty decent game because, 11 for 22, 50% completion percentage, only 174 passing yards. Obviously, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, got sacked 6 times, passer rating of 76.7. So obviously, the stat sheet is nothing to write home about. And anybody that did not watch this game, if they only looked at the stat sheet, they would think that Justin Fields also was the problem with this offense. But I don't think that Justin Fields, the quarterback, was the problem with the offense today. In games prior, like, for example, against the Texans last weekend, yeah, Justin Fields played a pretty bad football game. But today against the Giants, he looked pretty decent, okay, with what he had to work with. And that's the problem, guys. He did not have anything to work with in this game. Multiple drops by receivers. You saw that Dante Pettis on that back shoulder throw in the third quarter. I think it was the third quarter, for that crucial third down conversion. He completely dropped that, which obviously was a pretty good ball by Fields. There was a play, sack when St. Brown going down the right sideline, which, yes, might have been a second too late. So, yeah, Fields could have improved his timing on that throw, but still, that might have been a catchable ball for a better receiver, like, I don't know, like a DK Metcalf or like a true X in this league, which obviously we do not have. So our receivers were not stepping up and making plays for our quarterback, and there was also no separation on the majority of these plays. You guys saw that Justin Fields, left the pocket pretty frequently throughout this game, especially at the end of the first half. You guys saw that drive in which, Justin Fields scrambled, I think 4 or 5 times on that drive because there was basically nobody open going down the field. Guys are not getting separation. And that's the thing, guys. This Bears offense right now, which I've criticized Ryan Poles about it, other Bears fans have as well, just does not have enough talent in the receiver department. We all like Darnell Mooney, obviously, but Mooney cannot do it alone right now. And even our third-round pick, Velus Jones, he was not a factor in the receiving game. He was not even out there as a receiver in any package that we had, okay? If they only drafted Velus Jones to be a return man with a third-round pick, that's a bad use of a third-round pick, and he couldn't even do that in this game, okay? He fumbled the game away on that last chance that we had. So I'm not trying to say that Velus will not be a big part of the offense going forward, but today was pretty concerning, the fact that we did not get any touches for Velus Jones as a receiver on this offense. And obviously the other guys we had, St. Brown, Pettis, were not getting consistent separation on the routes to the point where Fields had to leave the pocket a lot. The pass protection also was not good at all in this game, okay? Aside for a few drives at the beginning of the game, like, for example, the first drive in which we got the field goal, that was actually pretty phenomenal pass protection by all the guys we had on the football field. But then obviously Cody Whitehair went down with an injury, and Lucas Patrick replacing him struggled big time, which is concerning for a veteran player like him going up against the Giants D-line, which obviously nobody views as elite in this league, that we couldn't even generate any sort of push in the passing attack on the offensive line, okay? So Fields, aside from that first drive, really did not have much time to throw the football. I'll have to go back and look at the time to throw in this game because obviously Fields has been holding on to the football too long, which, fans have been criticizing him about, which yes, that's a valid cause for concern. But in this game, I don't think Fields had much of a chance to really do anything. Okay, guys were simply not getting open, making plays for him, and the pass protection was not holding up long enough for him to find anybody open. And that was kind of like the entire story of the game. Okay, pass protection breaking down, receivers not getting open. What is a young quarterback supposed to do? I know that Fields still has areas to work on. Like, for example, against the blitz, he could be a lot better in getting the ball out a little bit faster. And that's a concern with this game as a whole. Okay, getting the ball out faster, playing the game faster, recognizing coverages faster, throwing the ball a little bit faster. But in this game, Fields was not the problem. Okay, at the beginning of this game, you guys saw he had a nice 53-yard completion down the left sideline to Darnell Mooney, which great touch on that ball, great pass. Before that play, he also had a inside throw to Darnell Mooney, which had nice touch on it as well. And it was in between, a couple defenders. So that was a nice throw in traffic to Darnell Mooney to your number one. And multiple times on third down, guys, Justin Fields bailed the Chicago Bears offense out, because even though guys were not getting open, Justin Fields took off multiple times with his legs for big third down conversions. Okay, he converted multiple third downs in this game all by himself. Okay, so he had 7 rushes for 52 rushing yards in this game, an average of 7.4 yards per carry, and he's been a big factor on the ground throughout the Bears' first month of the season. Obviously, you don't want to see your quarterback only contributing on the ground. You want to see great passing performances as well. But when the passing game is not really doing much of anything, at least Justin Fields does have the ability to pick up these crucial third downs and move the chains for us and try to get something going by himself. So overall, guys, I was pretty happy with the performance of Justin Fields. I know that Bears fans, a lot of them, especially that did not watch this game, they will not agree with that take, because they think that your quarterback is supposed to do everything by himself. He's supposed to magically find guys open when they're not open and extend plays for 10, 20 seconds when the offensive line is breaking down. But that's just not how football works. Okay, you're not going to have great performances for a young quarterback when the roster around him is simply not good, and when the play caller is not really giving him much of a chance to get something going down the field. Okay, and with that, let me talk about Luke Getsy, okay, and the horrible play calling performance he had in this game, because like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Luke Getsy was playing for field goals instead of touchdowns, which is obviously why the Chicago Bears lost this game. We played timid, scared football, and we were not trying to score on this Giants defense for the majority of the game. Okay, you guys saw that 4th and 2, which really irked me so much. Okay, there was a lot that irked me in this game, and obviously Eberflus is at fault here too. Okay, he is the head coach, and he's playing a pretty timid style of football as well. So on 4th and 2, guys, in the first quarter, we were at, I believe, their 3-yard line. Okay, 4th and 2, we kicked a field goal at the 3-yard line. Like, what are you doing? Okay, obviously I get that you want to put points on the board, but this is an extremely conservative style of football. And when your offense is struggling so much to score touchdowns this entire season, when you have the ball that close to the goal line, why not go for it, okay, and go for the touchdown? And even if you don't get it, okay, even if you don't get that 4th down conversion, you have the Giants at their own 3-yard line, okay? Do you not trust our defense to get the stop there? Obviously, our defense did not play a great game for the majority of the first half, but come on, guys. It's Daniel Jones and a ragtag group of receivers. They had basically practice squad level receivers in this game, okay, playing for the Giants, and we could not even trust our defense to get that stop in that situation, to get a safety or something like that. We definitely did not trust our offense to do anything in this game, because whenever we have the chance to be a little bit aggressive, Getsy does not take it. Eberflus does not take it. And yes, I know that they know the talent on this roster is really not that good, so they're trying to make it a low-scoring, ugly game so that we can maybe win it at the end. Okay, that's probably how we're going to win our games this year, okay, just by making it ugly and low-scoring. But that's not a brand of football that is obviously fun for us fans to watch. And I know they don't care about what us fans think, but if you're going to lose games, man, at least try to be a little bit aggressive, okay? See what you have in Justin Fields. See what you can do with this passing attack, because we don't even take those chances whatsoever throughout games, okay? It's been a whole month now of Bears football, and we are one of the most conservative offenses in the entire NFL, okay? We have the highest running rate on first down, so we basically run every single first down. We don't really take too many deep shots in the red zone. We're running the football a lot. Like, they actually showed a graphic on the screen at one point which showed that the Bears had like 19 rushing plays in the red zone and only 1 passing play the entire year, okay, before this game started. And obviously in this game, we had a couple passing plays in the red zone, but it was still more of the same, okay? A lot of running the football, which, yes, I get has worked in games prior. But in this game, running the football was not working for the Chicago Bears offense, okay? I know that Justin Fields had a decent amount of runs, which, you know, made the numbers look a little bit better, but Khalil Herbert was not getting the same gains that he was earlier on in the season. Treston Ebner also wasn't really doing much of anything, okay? Our run blocking was not looking as good as it had been looking the first 3 games of the year, and obviously Luke Getsy did not adjust for that. And I totally understand that he doesn't have a lot to work with here, guys. Like, obviously, we all know this offense is not very talented in terms of skill positions, okay? We don't have a dominant X receiver. We don't have a lot of receiver depth. We don't have a dominant tight end. We don't have a great pass blocking offensive line, but still you have to be at least trying to do something. And in this game, Luke Getsy simply was not trying to score touchdowns, which really did irritate me. And also Matt Eberflus deserves a lot of blame too, because multiple times in which he could have been aggressive, he chose to sit back and play not to lose instead of playing to win the game. Okay, you play to win the game, like Herm Edwards said, and we were not playing to win the game on the offensive side of the football. Talking about the defense now, there was a lot of bad in the first half, specifically biting on that play action every single time, okay? Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll, they ran basically the same boots, the same play actions over and over and over again because we couldn't stop it, okay? Which is insane because we have a defensive-minded coach that's been preaching how important discipline fundamentals are in football, and our guys were just not seeing where the football was. Like Jaquan Brisker in that first half, he had a rough half of football because multiple times, man, he had no idea where the football was. Now, obviously, in the second half, Jaquan Brisker greatly improved his level of play, and the Bears adjusted. And yes, they were able to stop that play action, the boot plays going on, but by then, the damage was done, okay? We allowed 2 easy touchdowns to a struggling Giants offense that had no receivers on the football field, and they just ran it down our throats on play action basically every single time, okay? We allowed 262 rushing yards in this game, which is absolutely flat out unacceptable. Okay, our run defense, our defensive line is really struggling big time so far this year because I really think that we just don't have the talent, guys. Like, all the guys we have on the defensive line, a lot of them are great pass rushers, but they're not necessarily great run defenders. Like Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, they used to be great run defenders, eating up gaps, you know, especially Hicks and Goldman. They used to be big, monstrous men that used to be able to eat up those gaps, but we just don't have those guys on the roster right now. So I really think the defensive line additions are going to be a priority for this team going forward because we cannot stop the run. Guys like Robert Quinn, Travis Gibson, Mohammed, as good as they can be rushing the passer, they're not great run defenders. We don't have a single, you know, great run defender on the entire defensive line, which is a big gaping hole, okay, on the Bears defense. And the Giants, Brian Daboll, definitely attacked that deficiency in the Bears defense today over and over and over again. And why would they not? Okay, when we could not stop the running game whatsoever in this game. Saquon Barkley had 31 carries for 146 rushing yards. I mean, Saquon is looking elite. Like, we cannot tackle this guy. We cannot bring this guy down to the ground. He had multiple broken tackles. He had plays in which it should have been like a 5-6 yard loss, which turned into like 10-20 yard gains, which was just bad tackling by our entire defense. I'm sure that Eberflus will be mad about that, but it's a big problem, guys, our run defense, because even though we have been pretty decent against the pass, okay, Kyler Gordon has been our big weakling so far against the pass. You know, he had a big pass interference penalty in the second half, which obviously, you know, helped the Giants score a field goal there. So, you know, he has to improve his level of play, but he is a rookie. But you guys can see what I'm saying, okay? Our run defense is obviously the major weakness of this defense, and it could be a big problem going forward because teams have seen this now on film. They can see that the Bears defense cannot stop the run, so they're going to keep on doing that over and over and over again, running the football until we can find a way to stop the run, which hopefully ends up happening sometime this year. Otherwise, teams are going to continue to pound the rock for 200 plus yards every single game, draw out time of possession, and we're going to have games like this in which, you know, we got thoroughly outplayed at the line of scrimmage in the run game, and we had several frustrating missed tackles as well. So hats off to Eddie Jackson, though. I do want to say that his interception in the second half, you know, he's probably the only positive I have to take away from this game because 2018 Eddie, man, is so back. Like, this guy has 3 interceptions now in only 4 games of the season. He has a forced fumble, too. Like, he's back to being that turnover forcing machine that he used to be, playing pretty well in coverage, too, tackling well, too. Like, he had a few touchdown saving tackles in this game in which he was the last man of defense, but he made the tackle every single time. There's one that he actually missed in the first half. He took the wrong angle. He went inside on the Saquon Barkley run, which was going outside. So yeah, that was a bad play by him. But aside from that bad play, he played a phenomenal game of football. And I was so happy to see him rise up to the occasion, okay, and try to make something happen for a struggling Bears team. But unfortunately, it was not enough at the end of the day because the Bears offense played to lose the game. They played for field goals, and that's what ended up losing this game against a pretty mediocre at best Giants team, okay, that we now let go to 3-1 on the year, which sucks, okay, because the Giants had so many guys out. Like, this was a very winnable game for the Chicago Bears. We could have been 3-1. We could have been such a fun story, but instead we chose to not even try to win the game, and that's why we lost the game. What a surprise. So I'm really pissed about the Bears right now, just because I feel like even if you are going to lose games this year, which yes, us Bears fans expected going into this year, it's the manner in which you lose those games. Okay, losing a game like this in which we're not even trying to pass the ball, we're not even being a little bit aggressive, we're not trying to win the game, we're playing such scared, timid football, like that's not going to go over well with the fan base. That's not going to instill confidence into your team, because that's the coaching staff saying that they don't trust their guys to go out there and win the game for the team. And you know, it sucks to see that with this new coaching staff. I'm obviously not going to give up on the coaching staff this early into their new regime, okay, like some Bears fans are. So I'm still going to give Luke Getsy the full season. I'm still going to give Matt Eberflus the full season, and obviously Ryan Poles as well. And even then, guys, even one season with, you know, a lack of talent is too little time to judge these guys. But if we have more losses like this, it's going to be really, really tough, okay, to trust the long-term vision, okay, of this coaching staff. But hopefully we don't, okay? Hopefully we turn things around relatively soon. That's being very, very optimistic, given the fact that we can't even score a touchdown against a defense missing this many guys. But it's a long season. Anything can still happen. I'm not giving up on the team just yet, but this was such a bad, embarrassing loss, which really pisses me off so much, because I can handle losing when you try to win games. I can't handle losing when you don't even try to win the game like we did in this one. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments down below, but as always, bear down.